Alright, this next match is Dan versus Lani. Dan8116, who also plays faster than Lani. I say also, that's a weird way of putting it, is that Lani plays faster than Clover and Dan plays faster than Lani. And there's these kinds of discrepancies, and you know what else is a discrepancy is that beautiful, beautiful stairs tail that is being blocked off by a nefarious blue in column 6. That's not gonna make it better. Clearing out that blue like that is not gonna make it better. Put the stairs tail back, Dan. And Lani takes game 1 because Dan was what? Fiddling with the tail. I mean, he was also fiddling with the front end of the chain as well. It was like a, you know, it was like an open extension there, and then it was like not open. Okay. Dan's chain open on the front end kind of needs 2 yellows in order to complete it. Should just set off the chain right here with these yellows. Okay, sets off the chain. Lani seeming to have messed something up royally and just opts to take the L on that. I was scrutinizing Dan's chain. I didn't see that Lani had made a blunder there. Okay. Okay. Aha! Okay. No, it doesn't tail. That doesn't tail. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, huh? And by which wait and see, I mean, watch Dan completely fumble the chain, thus not allowing me to... Okay, it comes out. Oh, no, just as I thought. It breaks. Every single time I say there's a chain built in an interesting way that I would like to see resolved, just as it is, it never comes out. It's like a curse. It's like crazy because it's a pre-recorded video. It already happened. They do it just to spite me. That's what happens. Double reds go in column 5 in Dan's end. Lani needs a green in column 5 as well. I would have preferred to see that be a red-purple in column 5 to give that red an additional tail. No worries though. Lani can get this extension by setting off a green. Unfortunately, the placement of those blues cut. And, you know, in order to get the tail, she would have needed an additional blue in column 5. Or 6. But, I mean, without all of that bulk on top. Seeing Lani build a little bit faster, I guess the pressure is on because of her opponent. That was a bit of an early pop on Lani's end. Players are 2-2 neck and neck. Gets that green. A little of a block off in column 2, but cleaned up no problem. That's gonna be a big 2 chain. And it's almost open. Now, that red-purple is going to open her back up, and those reds aren't going to tail. But the reds at the top that she popped while she was popping her chain actually could have been an extension.
I knew I'd win.
But you can see from this match that Lani's got 8-chain potential, right? It's just that it was an 8-chain potential that was never realized in her match against Radioactive Radiant. Who, by the way, I've been noticing the unmitigated Shezo activities. Don't think I haven't. Okay, Lani's not gonna put that red-green in column 3 because she loves me. Dan building up that back half of the chain a little bit late, setting off the main chain. Lots of power popping there, and this length is not the longest I've seen from either player. But the 7's gonna beat out that 5. I would say the 7 beats the 5 every time, but I've seen some very powerful 5s. Stairs going very neatly for Dan right now. Dan wants to put a purple and a red in column 5, but puts a purple and a green there again, cause he doesn't like me. Purple red with the yellow on top would have been a tail. It would have been one link in the tail, but it would have been a tail. It doesn't matter though. I mean, I guess for Dan's purposes, for Dan's needs currently, it's not quite a tail there either. Unless Dan puts a green on top of the yellow, but there's already a red there, so no worries. Lani running into a bit of trouble. Getting an excess of pieces in perhaps the wrong order. This base is not quite coming together in the way she envisioned, so she's going to 2-chain, burn that down, and it's going to make a nice harassment. This 2-chain follow-up is going to put even more mess on the board. Lani's going to follow that up with a 3-chain. Dan doing very well to block off most of that damage and keep that chain workable, but still needs to do some cleanup before the rest of the chain is accessible, and parts of it are breaking. So Dan sacrifices some of the length on that chain to set off the main. The main ends up being a 6. And Dan's gonna pull ahead, creating a gap. I mean, Dan pulled ahead like 3 games ago, but he made a gap. This is a reminder for everyone that if you really, you know, Dragon Ball Z want to improve at the game, you can sign up for coaching from Juice. Juice does it for free. It's a very generous offer, because Juice is a very observant player, and you know, not a lot of people offer like Puyo Puyo coaching. Don't ask me for advice though, like, I had to stop playing this game. Dan dropping this game to simply a broken chain. Probably going to need to work on managing some of that slop that happens close to the end of the chain. Also, no one here should worry about missing an all clear. I think there's just way too many reds and way too many blues, way too many purples, and not enough greens. That would probably have to be like some I did GTR and now I'm gonna get this all clear. Lucky me type chain. This is a 3 chain from Dan. Dan doesn't have the purples to finish that out, but Dan's gonna follow that up with a quick 5. Segmented that chain into 2 and did a 1-2 punch to take that game off Lani. Dan at match point. Up 2 games. But it could really go either way. You know, if I'm being completely honest, something terrible could happen. Dan puts that yellow in column 4 after much deliberation. Puts a blue in column 5. We're gonna see a little bit of a tail here. Dan not gonna bother with extending onto the second floor. Just gonna set off this main chain. And it's going to... Oh, it's not gonna tail because of the height difference. Height's all wrong. That's a 7 from Dan. This is a 6 from Lani. Off by 1 link. Needed to have flipped that yellow and that blue in column 5 or 6 in order for that tail to connect properly. But I saw very good play from both players, in my opinion. I've seen some nice plays. I got a taste of a stairs tail. I'm very excited.